Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this series of videos, we are following and redoing AZ900 labs. AZ900 is the entry-level certification to get you introduced to Microsoft Azure. And in this lab today, we are going to be working on implementing Azure Key Vault. Now, in this series, we are working on 23 labs that are developed by Microsoft Learning, and we have already completed the previous 11 labs, and in this lab we're working on the 12th one. So, and I'll give you the link where you can actually go and read the details and do it yourself if you have any question. So basically in this one, we are going to create an Azure Key Vault and then create a password secret within the Key Vault, providing a securely stored, centrally managed password for use with application. And this is very common. And Azure Key Vault is very important in managing your keys and secrets, your certificates. You can do a lot of stuff with that. So to do the lab with me, you need an Azure subscription. If you do not have one, just go to portal.azure.com and get a subscription for yourself. What I'll just log into the portal that I have access to, and I'm going to search for that resource, Key Vault. Okay. So let's go here. This is my Azure. So in the search bar, that's what I do for pretty much any resource. I'm going to search for Key Vaults and it shows up. And here's a nice little icon that tells it's a Key Vault as well. So once I'm in, I'm going to click on the add button here, and that should give me a window to configure my Key Vault. And this experience should be very familiar to you by now. So here looks like there's only one thing that you need to configure, or a couple things: resource group, and the name of the key vault, and the region where you want to deploy. So let's come back over here. So for subscription, use your own subscription. We're going to create a new key vault and name it the way it's suggested in the lab. So create new, and there we go. Here's my key vault. Then for the key vault name, it needs to be unique. So let's copy that one and come back over here. And what we'll do, we're going to change the last few letters. Even this is already in use, so try 3 4. All right, so this green tick mark says that that name is available for you to use. Let me see if they are suggesting East US and standard pricing tier. So let's come back over here, East US and standard. Okay, so just note that there are two different pricing tier for the key vault. There is a premium one, so if you which supports the hardware based keys, HSM, a backed keys. So what it is, if you want to bring in your own keys based on hardware, it will support that one as well. So for now we are going to go with the standard, but I would recommend that you go and click on this link and just get some understanding of the difference between the different tiers that you have, and that could be a potential testable question. Like over here for the standard, how many secret operations, your cost is only 3 cents over 10,000 transactions. It's still the same. Certificate operations, looks like it's still about the same. Okay, so then managed Azure storage key rotation, that is free during preview, here also free during preview, and then general availability prices $1 per renewal. Okay, so then the things that I would like you to pay most attention to would be here, because rest software protected keys, the cost is about the same, so there's not much of difference. Over here, HSM protected key, which is the hardware based keys, RSA 2048 bit keys, is it supported? No, not in our standard plan, but it is supported within the premium plan. And advanced key types, that's also supported in our premium plan and not in the free. And RSA elliptical curve cryptographic keys, HSM based, these are all supported in your premium plan. Note, if they ask if these keys are supported in the regular plan, yes, it is. but it would be software based. Okay, but if you want hardware based, then you have to go with the premium plan. So just keep that in mind. So over here, let's go to access policy. Let's see if there is anything that we need to configure there. They are saying that go with the default. They're just going with the review and create to create the vault. So let's come back over here. So if you look at it, access policy is very important. uh, Usually if you don't need them, you don't enable them. But if you do need, say, Azure virtual machines for deployment, if you're storing some keys and secrets for virtual machine deployment using like script, you would want to enable that one. As your resource manager for template deployments, similar things, you would want that. And if you want as your disk encryption for volume encryption, you absolutely need to enable that one. So this is probably the most useful one. Other two you may not need. uh, you may need it, but this is the one that I use a lot. And permission model, you can have two different one. If you look at it as your role based access control still in preview, and the vault access policy is the default, and we're going to go with that one. If you go to networking, so key vault, by default it's a public endpoint. That means anybody who knows the the fully qualified domain name to your key vault will be able to access that one. So that's the default, and we're gonna go with the default one for now. Tags, I recommend everyone to use tags. Since this is a lab environment, I don't need any. And now I'm just gonna create, click on the review and create. It's running the validation. Here is your quick information what is gonna do. It's using this subscription. There is my resource group. That's the key vault name. It will be deployed in the East US using standard tier. Soft delete is enabled. Purge protection during retention period is disabled. So you can read up some more on this to their could this is like testable area where they can ask what is a soft delete and what is a purge protection. Similar concept to as a storage account as well. So just spend do some more research on this too. Days to return deleted vaults is 90 days. So pretty much what it is, if when you delete it, if this soft delete is enabled, your keys will not be immediately deleted. You will still be able to retrieve all those keys up to 90 days. Okay, that adds another layers of security. So now I'm going to hit on create. That should be creating the key vault for me now. Let's go back to the lab. So what they're saying, when the key vault is done, go to the resource, go to overview and note the DNS name. And if you notice, this key vault is it doesn't take very long at all to create, probably even less than a minute. I would say that you should have the deployment done. And the deployment progress, you can look it from here. You can look it from the notification bar, which is like right now moving. You can also go to the resource group. The resource group top right, you have the deployment section, and it also is saying that you have one deployment that is deploying. Now it just said that its deployment is successful. You can just click on the go to resource button. That will take you to the resource or the instance of the resource. And how do you know that's a key vault? There's an icon that is unique to key vaults, and it's also telling key vaults right at the bottom. Okay, so here this is your vault URI. Okay, and resource group, location, subscription ID, basic information. Soft delete is enabled, pass protection is disabled. So you can configure these and change this behavior if you like at any point. Let's go back to the lab. So here they are saying go to overview and take a note of the DNS name. Application that use your vault through REST API will need this URI. So this is the one they're talking about. So let's just copy that one and put it in our notes someplace. We might need it later. Okay, so that's what I have. This one. All right, let's go back to the lab. Okay, take a moment to browse through some of the key vault options under settings, review keys, secrets, certificates, access policies, firewalls, and virtual networks. And here they have a note: your Azure account is the only one authorized to perform operations on this new vault. You can modify this if you wish in the settings and then access policies. So let's go back and let's just browse through some sections. So overview we already looked at. Monitoring, we it looks like by default it's giving you monitoring options and how many requests you get. Success ratio, how many requests is successful. And let's see, keys is an area where we can create keys, or we can import keys, and you can keys, these are like the software based keys. You can name your key. Okay, you can import, restore from a backup, or you generate. You will name the key. You can have RSA based key or electric curve based cryptography. You can configure your key size. You have three different options. Even for the keys, you can set an activation date and expiration date. And at the end, before you create the key, you have to say whether the key is enabled or not to be effectively use the key. Okay, we'll do this lab, I'm pretty sure, in a little bit. So here, just cancel. Actually, I don't want to save this one. I'm just showing. And secrets is similar. So secrets would be like username and password. The keys were the actual using asymmetric cryptography. You are creating keys. Secrets are just like a password. So here should be a little bit simpler. You'll provide a name and a value, whatever password 1 2 3 4 5 6, whatever, make it secret. But that's pretty much it's a password vault. And then again over here you can also set the activation date and the expiration date. That's as simple as that. You can also manage all of your certificates. You can generate certificates and certificate name. If it's a self-signed certificate or issued by an integrated CA or a non-integrated CA, you can select all of that. You have to provide the subject name properly, DNS name, validity period in months, content time. If it's a PKCS or it's a PEM type certificate, you can do that. Percentage lifetime, you have full feature to configure and create a certificate. Okay, and finally access policies. We kind of looked at it already. Access policies, networking, we configured that there is no firewall rule at the moment. All networks can connect to our key vault. You can enable private endpoints so that you are controlling what network within Azure or within outside will be able to access your key vault. You can look at security. This is integrated with this Azure Security Center. It's going to tell you if there is any problem and if you have any recommendation to improve security of your key vault. Okay, so that's the general overview. Let's go back to the lab. See, go to the next section, and here we are just going to add a secret to the key vault. Okay, so do that. We'll go back to secrets, and we'll create a uh, we'll configure the secret. Secret is the easiest thing to do. So come back to the settings and secrets and generate. We were talking about this a little back. Upload option manual, name example password, and I told you that this is the simplest thing to do. It's just a username and password, and here the password is this very secret password, and provide that secret. And come back over here. Nothing else is needed. You just hit on uh, create, and that should create your key for you. Alright, next, come back over here. Once the secret has been successfully created, click on the example password and note the status of enabled. So let's come back over here, and it says, look at this, is says enabled. If you click on that one, current version, you can click on it, and not now. uh, and it's usually it will not show the secret value, so you can click on this one and that will show you the secret value at this time. Okay, so at this time you have got a good understanding of what the key vault is. I would recommend that you go ahead and try creating some other type of keys and certificates and just play with key vault and be comfortable with it. But for the AZ 900 exam, that should be a good introduction for you to get started. If you're studying for the exam, good luck. If you like the video, please give me a like, subscribe for more videos, and please leave your valuable comments so I can make better videos for you next time. Thanks for watching.